Today we're going to be doing solving equations with the distributive property, 7.7. I can use the properties of real numbers to determine the solution of a linear equation. I can simplify by using the distributive property and or combining like terms. I can give examples of linear equations with one solution, infinite many solutions, or no solution. And we talked about that on Tuesday. One solution is like x equals 3. Infinitely many solutions, that would be 0 equals 0. Or sometimes it might equal 2 equals 2. They're the same on both sides of the equation. If there's no solution, you're going to get like 0 equals 7 or 7 equals 0 or 7 equals 2. You know, it's going to be different on both sides of the equal sign. All right? So, example 1. Let's check to see if the given value is a solution to the equation. If we were to solve this equation right here, is 12 the solution? Yes or no? Now remember, you need to have your blue calculators out right now, and those do not do the orders of operations like we practiced on Tuesday either. So if I do this, and I put 12 in here for the x, so 5 times 12 minus 3, does that equal a negative 45? Well, in this situation, inside of parentheses, they're like terms, so I can combine them. 12 minus 3, 9, is 5 times 9 is 45. Does that equal a negative 45? Well, it's close, but no, does not. One's positive, one is a negative, so that one is a no. Now we go down here. Is 6 the solution? Negative 12. Put a 6 in here. What is 6 plus 3? Does that equal 108? Well, again, these are like terms, I can combine them. So what is a negative 12 times 9? Negative 12, negative times a positive is a negative. And when you multiply them, you get 108. So are they the same? No. One is positive, and again, one is negative, so this one is also a no. So we have a negative, this one is a positive, so they are not identical. Letter C. How about negative 5? Is that the solution? Would that be the right answer? 4 times 2x, that means 2 times a negative 5 plus 1. Does that equal your negative 32? I don't know. Does it? Well, again, we can simplify within the terms. Like terms, 2 times a negative 5 is a negative 10. Negative 10 plus 1 ends up being a negative 9. What is 4 times a negative 9? Negative 32. Does that equal a negative 32? That one is yes, they are identical. So this has one solution, and it is a negative 5. All right, now this page again, we talked about it. These are just the steps that we're going over. They're completed in your notes on page 32 if you need to see those. Okay, now let's do solve each equation. And it's going to be beneficial to check on your calculator like we talked about. However, remember they don't do the orders of operations, so be careful. Now we're going to do the solving ourselves. Anytime you see your equation and you see parentheses, that's the first thing you want to do is get rid of the parentheses. So we're going to do the distributive property. 6 times x is 6x. 6 times a positive 2, positive 12, equals, bring that down, 36. Now, earlier this week we practiced combining like terms. Are there any like terms that I can combine on this side? No. So those stay the same. I cannot do anything to the 6x plus 12. It stays the same, equals, and obviously the 36, that stays the same, nothing to combine on that side. Now, red rover, send over. We want to get this by itself, get the numbers together, so inverse minus 12 to both sides. cancels out. 6x equals 36 minus 12. That is a fight. Positive wins by 24. Divide both sides by 6. X equals 4 is your final answer. If you were to go up here and put a 4 in here, 4 plus 2 is 6. 6 times 6 is 36. All right? Let's do letter B. Draw a line down the equal sign. I see parentheses. So therefore I need to do the distributive property and get rid of my parentheses. A negative 2 times x, or 1x, is a negative 2x. A negative 2 times a negative 12 gives me a positive 24, equals, and then bring the 24 down. No like terms to combine here. I can't combine those because 24 doesn't have an x. So Red Rover, send over minus 24 to both sides. Minus 24. These cancel out. I have a negative 2x. Don't forget the sign. A negative 2x equals 24 minus 24 is 0. Alright? Now don't panic when you get to this stage. No, that doesn't mean that it's going to be no solution or infinite solution. We still have our x here. That hasn't disappeared. We divide both sides by, what's with our x? A negative 2. Negative divided by negative is a positive. That gives me my positive 1x, or x, equals 0 divided by any number is 0. So how many solutions does that have? That equation has one solution. What is it? 0. If I go up here, I put 0 in for the x. 0 minus 12 is a negative 12. A negative 2 times a negative 12 is a positive 24. So that equation has one solution, and it is 0. C. Draw your line. Let's do the distributive property. 7 times x, 7x. 7 times a negative 6, a negative 42. Equals, bring down my negative 21. No combining of any like terms needed, so Red Rover, send over the 42. The inverse of a negative is a positive. Oops. Cancels out. 7x equals, we have a fight, positive and a negative. We subtract, the positive wins by 21. Divide both sides by 7. X equals 3. And you are done there. One solution. One solution for that equation, and it is 3. 3 minus 6 is a negative 3. 7 times a negative 3 is a negative 21. All right, letter D. There's my parentheses that I want to get rid of. So negative 3 times a 7, negative 21. A negative 3 times a negative 4x becomes a positive 12x. Bring down my 15. Red Rover, send over. Let's get our numbers here together over on the right side. So the inverse of a negative 21 is a plus 21. Those cancel out. Plus 21 to the other side. So now I bring down my positive 12x equals 15 and 21. You get 36. Divide both sides by a positive 12. X equals 3. If I go up here, 3. 4 times 3 is 12. 7 minus 12 is a negative 5. A negative 3 times a negative 5 is a positive 15. It checks. All right, letter E. Distributive property. 5x. 5 times a negative 3, negative 15. Bring down your plus 11 equals 31. Now we just can't red rover. Here we have some like terms that we can combine before we start to do our inverse operations. My like terms are this negative 15 and this positive 11. It's a fight. Who wins? The negative by 4. Bring down your 5x. So now we have 5x minus 4 equals, and bring that down, 31. Now they're like the examples we just did on the previous page. Now we can red rover and get our constants together. Let's get our numbers together. Plus 4 to both sides. So now I have 5x equals 35. When I add these together, divide both by 5, x equals 7. If I go up here, 7 minus 3 is 4. 5 times 4 is 20. 20 plus 11 is 31. Letter F. All right, now I have a constant out here by itself. We do not go 16 plus 2. You cannot do the orders of operations and add before you do the parentheses. Please excuse my dear Aunt Sally, all right? So this we just bring straight down, 16. Now we need to take this positive 2 and distribute it times x. We get plus 2x. 2 times 8 is a plus 16 equals, and then bring your 20 down. Now we've gotten rid of the parentheses by doing the distributive property, combine like terms. Here I have a plus 16 and a plus 16. Those cancel out, make 0, right? No, just seeing who's listening. A positive 16 and a positive 16, you add them to get together and you get a positive 32. Bring down your plus 2x equals 20. Now we will minus, because this is a positive, so we minus 32 to both sides. That cancels out. Minus 32 to this side. All right, bring down my positive 2x. We still have that left here. Equals, what is 20 minus 32? Well, there we have a fight. Who wins? The negative by how many? By 12. So now we have 2x equals a negative 12. Divide both sides by a positive 2. It makes a positive 1x, or x, equals positive, or a negative divided by a positive is a negative. 12 divided by 2 is 6. X equals a negative 6. You go up here, negative 6 plus 8 gives me 2. 2 times 2 is 4. 16 plus 4 is 20. It checks. All right, letter G. Again, here it's not a constant. It's a term of 13x, so we bring that down, straight down. It's the negative 4 that we need to distribute. We've got to get rid of these parentheses. So a negative 4 times x is a negative 4x. A negative 4 times a positive 1 is a negative 4. Equals, and then we just bring down our negative 22 over here. Combining like terms. In this case, here are my like terms. 13x minus 4x gives me 9x. Bring down your minus 4 equals a minus 22. Plus 4 to both sides. Those cancel out. Now I have left over here, I have my 9x equals a negative 22 and a positive 4. It's a fight. Who wins? The negative, excuse me, the negative by 18. And now we will divide both sides by 9. X equals negative 2. Check it quick. Negative 2 plus 1 is a negative 1. A negative 4 times a negative 1 is 4. Okay, so then if you wanted to check that, go up here and put negative 2 in here. So 13 times a negative 2 is a negative 26. And then you put a negative 2 here. Negative 2 plus 1 is a negative 1. Negative 4 times a negative 1 is a positive 4. Put those together and you end up getting a negative 22, which checks. Perfect. Oops. And clear. And letter H. Slide that up. Letter H. So what we need to do here is what? The distributive property. Yes, excellent. Now, what we don't want to forget on this one is our assumed what? I didn't hear you. What? Oh, yes. A negative 1, much better. There we go. So use our distributive property. Negative 1 times 2x is a negative 2x. A negative 1 times a negative 5 is a positive 5 equals 6. Now we've done gobs of these. I'm done, right? No? Where's my mistake? Find my mistake. What have I forgotten to do? Some will be shaking their head yes or no if you're right. What I forgot to do is you can't leave this guy behind. Bring down your x. So it's x minus 2x plus 5 equals 6. All right, combine our like terms. What's 1x minus 2x? A negative 1x. Now we have plus 5 and equals our 6. Red Rover, send over minus 5. Now I have a negative 1x equals 6 minus 5 is a 1. You cannot leave your answer like that. Who remembers why? Because you can't have a negative variable. So you have to divide both sides by negative 1. Because a negative divided by a negative, that turns that into a positive 1. So now we have our positive x equals 1 divided by a negative 1 is a negative 1. All right, now perimeter again. The distance around a figure. We know here our perimeter is 52. We know we need 2 of these, so we can take this times 2. And we need 2 of these, one for here and one for here, and we take that times 2. So 2 times x plus 6. Add that to 2 times the 9. So 2L plus 2W equals 52. Unless you like to do it x plus 6 plus x plus 6 plus 9 plus 9, that old-fashioned way again. But this takes us to our distributive property. Excuse me. 2 times x is 2x. 2 times 6 excuse me, is 12. 2 times 9 is 18 equals 52. Combine like terms. Well, there's nothing to combine with the 2x, but I can combine my 12 and 18 to get 30. So now I bring down my 2x, turns into a positive 30 equals 52. Red Rover, send over that 30 minus 30 to both sides. 2x equals 22. You divide by 2. And I ran out of room. Over here, x equals 11. Ta-da! No, you're not done. X is 11, but how long are our sides? Well, I know that this one's already 9. We can't do anything to it. All right, this one's 9 and this one's 9. Those are already done for me, so I have a side 9 and 9. That's those two. What are my widths here? X plus 6, and we just said x is 11. So what's 11 plus 6? 17 and 17. Now hopefully we add up all 4 sides. That better equal 52. And does it? 10, 20, 34, plus 18, 44, 52. Excellent. So the same would be here. It's easiest just to do the distributive property. 2 times 2x minus 5 plus 2 times the length equals 38. Here, 4x minus 10, bring this down, plus 2x equals 38. My like terms are a 4x and a 2x. Combine those, I get 6x. And then I need to bring down my minus 10. There's nothing to combine that with. And bring down 38. Now, Red Rover, send over. Let's get our numbers all together over here on the right side. 6x equals, let's bring that down. 38 plus 10 is 48. Divide both sides by 6. X equals 8. All right, let's see if it's correct. X is 8, so that means this side's 8. That also means this side is 8. What is 2 times 8? 16 minus 5 is 11. I hope those 4 numbers add up to 38. 11 and 11 is 22. 8 and 8 is 16. 22 and 16. Voila, 38. We are done. All right, your homework is in your packet. You need to have pages 5 and 6 done for tomorrow. All your work showing. I need to see your steps. Show your work. Pages 5 and 6 tomorrow so you don't end up in lunch detention. All right, you may get started.